Hello kids, welcome to my channel Learn with Love. In our previous class on tenses, I explained in detail about what tense is and the basics you need to know to learn tenses. If you haven't watched it yet, I am leaving a link in the description. Do watch it to learn the basics and become an expert in tenses. As we learned already, there are 12 tense forms in the English language. In our last class, we discussed the forms and uses of simple present and present continuous tense. Today, we are going to learn the forms and uses of simple past, past continuous, simple future and future continuous. Simple past tense. Simple past tense is used to refer to an action that has already been completed before the moment of speaking. So simple past tense is used to talk about completed actions in the past, and to frame a sentence in the simple past tense, add the past form of the verb or verb to after the subject. Look at the following examples. I liked the ice cream. He played the piano. Shiva watched a lot of movies. They played football. Here the verbs liked, played and watched are in the past or verb to form. A simple past tense can be formed by adding verb to after the subject. The negative sentence can be formed simply by adding did not before the verb, as in the example, I did not like the ice cream. Notice here that the verb like is used in the base form. Remember that in the negative sentence, verb to should not be used. We should not say he did not play the piano. We should say he did not play the piano. The helping verb that we add, did, helps us understand that the sentence is in the past tense. Shiva didn't watch a lot of movies. They didn't play football. Didn't is just the short form of did not. To frame a question, simply add did in front of the sentence. Also, only the base form of the verbs should be used when the question begins with the helping verb did. Verb to should not be used. Did I like the ice cream? Did he play the piano? Did Shiva watch a lot of movies? Did they sleep? Many children find framing questions difficult. They simply fall into the habit of adding an at the end of a sentence to ask a question. They'd go like, he played the piano. Shiva watched the movies. Children, you must absolutely avoid this and frame questions properly when you speak. Again, you can also add question words in front of these sentences. Why did they sleep? When did they sleep? Where did they sleep? On what did they sleep? Now let's discuss the uses of simple past tense. Look at the first example. Mimansa went to the temple every day. So this means that she had the habit of going to the temple every day sometime in the past. So habits like these or routines can be said in simple past tense. Vishwa worked in a coffee shop after school. And we can use simple past tense to talk about a series of completed actions. I exercised, walked to the beach and found a nice place to swim. I switched on the stove, heated the milk and drank some. Then look at this example. Nandula Sriram studied French for 5 years. So the action of studying started sometime in the past and it also ended in the past. So to talk about an action which began and ended over a long period of time in the past also, we use simple past tense. Pradham Sankala and I talked on the phone for 30 minutes. I have some questions for you here. You have to fill in these blanks with the simple past form of the verbs given in the brackets. Pause the screen. Think about what the correct answer would be and then resume the video to discuss the answers. So the first one, who dashed this essay? Remember, to form the simple past form after the subject, simply write the past tense of the verb given in the bracket. The past tense for write is wrote. Who wrote this essay? Romila played for 2 hours. Were you frightened of the dark? Who ate the cake that was in the tin? But remember, if a question begins with the helping verb did, then you should not change the base form of the verb to its verb to form. If a question begins with the helping verb did, then write the verb as it is. He thought I borrowed his pen. Past continuous tense. We use past continuous tense to refer to an action that was going on for a period of time in the past. To frame a sentence in the past continuous tense, simply add the helping verbs was or were after the subject and then with the verb add ing. Now, you might have a doubt where to add was and where to add were. If the subject is third person singular like he, she, it or a name, then you have to use the helping verb was. If the subject is anything else, use the helping verb were. And then with the verb that follows the helping verb was or were, add ing. I was playing. We were studying. Madhu was singing. The dog was barking. And then to form a negative sentence is super easy. Just add the word not after the helping verb was or were. I was playing becomes I was not playing. We were not studying. Madhu was not singing. The dog was not barking. Now, let's learn to form an interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence is something that asks a question. Framing an interrogative sentence is also super easy. Just interchange the position of the subject and the helping verb was or were. So, I was playing will become was I playing? We were studying becomes were we studying? Madhu was singing becomes was Madhu singing? The dog was barking becomes was the dog barking? Easy, right? Now, if you look at all these questions, they begin with a helping verb, and any question that begin with a helping verb will be an yes or no question. That means the answer for these questions can only be an yes or no. Was I playing? No. Were we studying? Yes. But if you want more information, then you have to add question like question words like what, when, why, where, how or who in front of these sentences. Was the dog barking? Yes. Why was the dog barking? Because it saw some strangers. When was the dog barking? Yesterday. Easy, right? Now let's discuss the uses of past continuous tense. Look at the first example. I was studying sincerely when she called. Here two actions happen. The first is I was studying, the action of studying, and the second is the action of calling. So when a longer action is disturbed or interrupted by another shorter action, then the longer action can be said in past continuous and the shorter action can be said in simple past. I was studying sincerely. So here the longer action of studying sincerely is interrupted by the shorter action of her calling. So the shorter action she called is said in simple past and the longer action is said in past continuous. And look at this example. Yesterday evening I was cooking and my sister was studying. So here two actions happen simultaneously side by side. So to talk about two parallel actions, we can use past continuous tense. My brother was singing and I was dancing. I have some questions for you here. We have to fill in these blanks with the past continuous form of the verbs given in the brackets. Remember, to frame a sentence in the past continuous tense, we have to use the helping verb was or were, and with the verb given in the bracket, we have to add ing. If the subject is third person singular, we use the helping verb was, and if the subject is anything else, we use the helping verb were. Look at the first question. He dashed dinner when we reached. So here the subject he is third person singular. So we use the helping verb was, and with the verb given in the bracket make, we add ing. So the answer is he was making dinner when we reached. It dashed heavily last night. Again, it is a third person singular subject. So we use the helping verb was, and with the verb rain given in the bracket, we add ing. It was raining heavily last night. He was standing outside. The careless person was driving at full speed. But look at the fifth sentence here. In this sentence, the birds dash away when I rushed out with my camera. The subject is the birds. Now, the birds is not third person singular. It is a plural subject. For a plural subject, we have to use the helping verb were. And with the verb given in the bracket, we have to add ing. So the answer is, the birds were flying away when I rushed out with my camera. Simple future tense. We use simple future tense to talk about things that have not happened yet. We use it to talk about an action or condition that will begin and end in the future. To frame a sentence in the simple future tense, simply add the helping verb will after the subject and write the base form of the verb or verb 1. Look at the following examples. I will play. We will study. Madhu will sing. The dog will bark. Easy, right? You just have to write the helping verb will after the subject and write the verb as it is. Now to form a negative sentence, simply add the word not after the helping verb will. I will play becomes I will not play. We will study becomes we will not study. Madhu will not sing. The dog will not bark. And framing an interrogative sentence is also super easy. Simply interchange the position of the subject and the helping verb will. I will play becomes will I play. We will study becomes will we study. Madhu will sing becomes will Madhu sing. Will the dog bark? And if you want, you can add question words in front of these sentences. When will I play? What will I play? With whom will I play? Uses of simple future tense. As we discussed already, we use simple future to talk about actions that have not started yet. We use it to talk about actions that are yet to happen, that is going to happen hereafter sometime in the future. For example, they will attend the meeting. The school will cancel the events. And then to talk about possible outcomes of an action, we use simple future tense. For example, if we are lazy, if we do the action of being lazy, then possibly we will fail. If we are not careful, then possibly we will slip and fall. So, we use simple future tense to predict the possible outcome of an action. And things that happen as a regular phenomenon or things that occur regularly are also said in simple future tense. The children will come back from the school in an hour. It is something that happens regularly and so it is said in simple future tense. Fill in the blanks with the simple future form of the verbs given in brackets. This is very easy. How do we form or how do we frame a sentence in simple future tense? After the subject, we write the helping verb will and write the base form of the verb as it is. So here after the subject he, we have to write will and we have to write the verb given in the bracket as it is. He will play the next match. They will study from the new books. Hina and Zoya will read a new poem. The police will work on this case only. All the students will run in tomorrow's marathon. Future continuous tense. The future continuous tense is also sometimes referred as the future progressive tense. This verb tense indicates that something will occur in the future and that action will go on for some time in the future. It indicates that an action will continue for some time in the future. To frame a sentence in the future continuous tense, after the subject, we have to add the helping verb will be. And then with the verb that follows, we have to add ing. Look at the first example. I will be playing in the match. Here, after the subject I, we have used the helping verb will be. And with the verb play that follows, we add ing. I will be playing in the match. Now we have a sentence in future continuous tense. Subhatra will be competing against Swarna. Now, to form a negative sentence, simply add not after the helping verb will. I will not be playing. Subhatra will not be competing against Swarna. We will not be waiting in the library. Easy, right? Now let's learn to form an interrogative sentence. That means a sentence which asks a question. To frame an interrogative sentence, we have to interchange the subject and the helping verb will. Look at the first example. I will be playing in the match. Here the subject is I and the helping verb is will. We have to interchange these to frame a question. So I will be playing becomes will I be playing in the match? Subhatra will be competing against Swarna becomes will Subhatra be competing against Swarna? Benjamin will be going home after the exams. Here Benjamin is the subject, will is the helping verb. We interchange the subject and the helping verb to frame an interrogative sentence. Will Benjamin be going home after exams? We will be waiting in the library becomes will we be waiting in the library? Easy, right? Let's fill in these blanks using the present continuous forms of the verbs given in the brackets. That is super easy. What is the form of a present continuous tense? After the subject, we have to use the helping verb will be. And with the verb, we have to add ing. So look at the first question. I dash from Kochi to Bangalore next month. And the verb given in the bracket is travel. So after the subject I, we have to write the helping verb will be. And then with the verb given in the bracket travel, we have to add ing. I will be traveling from Kochi to Bangalore next month. They will be studying after dinner. I will be going home once the exams are over. My father will be meeting the headmaster. Over the next 2 days, you will be working with them. Easy, right? Children, we have come to the end of this class. I hope this class was useful to you. In the next class, let's discuss present perfect, past perfect and future perfect tenses. Until then, remember this. I love you all. Bye-bye.